What's up, everybody? We are the Story Crafters. My name is Jeff. We have Nicole, Jared, and Charlie, who is showing the highest level of commitment tonight, recording the show, recording from his phone. He's traveling somewhere, so the commitment is great. Man, it has been a minute since the four of us have actually been together. So I'm excited. We have some cool stuff to talk about. Let's get into it. Let's roll initiative.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to use my special, beautiful, giant new D20 that my brother got.
That's pretty.
It's from Third Watch Dice.
Ooh.
Make awesome dice. And they're local and they're on Instagram. Third Watch Dice. You should follow them.
Third Watch Dice.
But this dice works as well as all my other dice. It's a 3.
Man, I also got a 3.
I got a 1.
Rollies. Nicole, again?
Again.
Well, this is fantastic. I rolled at the rest stop when I got set up and logged into the studio to record. So I rolled and firstly, my lucky number, 7.
Okay, 7 takes
And
it.
somehow,
And y'all got to do rollies for 3s,
I thought he
guess.
was-
All right, Jeff.
I legitimately thought Charlie was going to say my favorite number is 7. I also rolled a 3. Like, I really thought he was about to say that.
Which has nothing to do with the story I just told you.
All right, let's roll off, bro.
All right. What'd you get?
A
And
2.
got a
3 again. That's
we are,
incredible.
like,
That's
it's
horrible.
statistically uncanny how bad we are at this.
Well, we're GMs.
is.
I mean, that's what happens. You don't roll over at 10 unless you're in combat and you're constantly rolling 20s against your
Yeah,
players.
and then your
God.
players hate you.
Yeah, I've never.
So you're saying I should
never been. I
have?
think.
I should have. Sorry, Charlie. I keep interrupting you. I should have just been ready to attack Jeff. Is what you're
Yes.
saying?
Correct.
All
If
right.
you were rolling to hit,
Next time.
you would have rolled double digits.
Go ahead.
The
But
logic
sure, I
is
never
sound.
thought I would ever have to lie about rolling a d20 until I became a GM, and I was like, I can't kill him again.
Right?
That's the 3rd time this session.
I will say, as a GM, I only fudge rolls in the player's benefit. I never make the bad guys or the NPCs or anybody do better. I'm just like, okay, I can't be that hard on them. Like, they're all gonna quit on me if I actually tell them that roll. Like, oops, I guess I missed again.
Man, Charlie, it looks like you're kicking us off, man. So,
Wow.
Yeah, what the heck you been up to? A million things, Charlie.
Yeah. Well, let me just preface for you all, as well as for any listeners, that as I said, I am driving tonight to get to a meeting for the morning for my 9 to 5. That being said, I am running off my hotspot. So if a battery dies at any point, I'm probably fine. That's just the issue. And
To be clear,
Probably
Charlie is being
fine.
very safe.
yes.
he's
No, yeah.
being safe.
I'm not looking at
Both
any
hands
screens
on
or
the
anything,
wheel.
but we'll just say that somebody casted silence on me for the remainder of the episode.
At the time that you're hearing this episode, listeners, we have confirmed that Charlie was okay.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Oh man. So yeah, gosh, a lot has happened. So personally, I'm trying to remember the last episode that I did record with you guys. If we had, I think I had Dublin, right? We have a puppy. We have a new familiar in the home.
Yeah.
Wonderful little Dublin. He's been great. Additionally, personally, which was a really cool milestone that I'm proud to share, that I had to go to Vegas for a work conference, and I have never been offered more alcohol for free in a 2-day period than I did there. And I stayed sober the entire time, not a drop.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
still running now.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was
That's awesome, man.
Didn't break the streak.
That's awesome.
Didn't break the streak. I did get 5 blisters on my feet, though. Did break a lot of skin. But no, it was a good conference, though. Unfortunately, it did result. I did get pretty sick, and I had to cancel my GaryCon trip, which was devastating. But
That's such a bummer.
I refused to let that keep me down, and I did get the Kickstarter pre-launch page live.
Nice.
So that is up there. People can go and sign up. I think as of recording, I think we're at 26 people that have already signed up to be notified of the Kickstarter launch, which is super exciting. The website is also live, just haven't shared it yet. That will be coming. I'll be putting a post out about that as well. And a lot of wonderful work has been going in the background as well with our 2 amazing artists that are on team right now. Julia Madalena, who some people may know for some of her work with Anjali Bhamani and Todd Stashwick, and as well as Nate Taylor, incredibly talented. And both of them are doing amazing stuff. We're going to have some concept pictures and stuff of things in development, which I so desperately wish I wasn't driving so I could, be recording at home and actually share some of this stuff with you guys so you could see.
Next time.
But it's awesome. It's absolutely fantastic. The things that they're doing and bringing to life and bringing Adventures After an Arcane Apocalypse to fruition after all these years. So, but the other big announcement I'm super excited to share with you guys. Haven't shared this with anyone other than Mike, the Weather Dragon, and Sarah, my wife. But Gen Con coming up this year, Mike of the Weather Dragon is running a massive and fantastic charity event. And specifically, it's going to be a D&D one-shot actual play live at Gen Con on a stage. And the GM is Luke Gygax.
Yo.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
Okay, that's super cool.
And Adventures After an Arcane Apocalypse is going to be one of the main sponsors for the charity event to benefit this amazing charity. And we'll have information in the link. Forgive me, I am looking at directions and cannot remember what the name of the charity is, but it is an amazing charity that helps at-risk youth in North Carolina and helps connect them and advocate for them with CPS and dangerous situations that the kids might be in. So it's a really awesome charity. So I'm really, really happy and grateful that I have the opportunity to help back that and sponsor it. But even, cooler that it's going to be for this actual play event that Luke Gygax is going to be doing. And there's going to be a banner on the stage of Adventures After an Arcane Apocalypse right behind him. It'll be so cool.
Yeah,
And already met with Nate and Julia. They are working on a really, really cool full page illustration that will be on the brochure for the game. So it's going to be awesome.
Dope.
Wild, Charlie. That's wild. Congratulations, my guy.
One other thing, you'll hear it here first, and then it'll be announced again at Gen Con. But Mike and I might be working on a unique one-of-one Weather Dragon table that will be a one-time limited offer add-on for the Kickstarter.
Nice.
Incredible.
That's a big add-on.
That is a big add-on.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's going to be amazing.
I have so many questions. I just quickly want to say we will make sure that the name of the charity will be in the video description, along with links to anything else we talk about in this episode. But Charlie, that is incredible, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, seriously, dude, that's wild.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's super cool.
It's amazing.
Man,
that's yeah, I'm at a fault for words to what to even say about that, but that's one heck of an opportunity, my guy.
Yeah. I'm really excited for my players in my current campaign to find out about this. That's going to be really cool. So
exciting.
Yeah.
Proud of you, man. That's a big deal. That's a big
That's
deal.
huge. That's huge.
I think we're quiet because we're all like, I don't even know how to process that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
What do you say?
I'm just done. I'm just okay. I'm done. Good night.
It just proves that Jeff was saying this. It's like, it just proves that like we have cool friends, you know what I mean? Like, and not to take anything away from Charlie, you work so
you
hard,
guys
my
are
God.
cool.
Like, out of all the people I know, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, I can waffle on forever. That's awesome.
Man.
We're big fans, Charlie.
Big
Well, the
big
feeling
fans.
is very, very mutual.
Aw.
Well, you're just saying that. Is it my turn? Did I actually, with 2 3s in a row, do I get to go second? Or second.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is the second best we could do tonight.
That's disappointing. All right. The biggest thing that's been going on for me that is now completed as this recording is happening is Goshen Dragons. It was our 5th year. It was a huge success. Truly, we didn't have any mishaps that were worth mentioning. We sold out officially, which was the first year that we'd ever officially sold out. Literally couldn't let anybody else in the door.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you very much. We at Goshen Dragons are an extension of Goshen Art House, which is a nonprofit in our area. That their whole MO is to provide low barrier opportunities with high return for local artists. So we are an extension of that, and we made the most money out of any art house event in history for our Goshen Dragons event, which is really cool. And a lot of that will go out to recoup things, but a lot of that goes back into a nonprofit, which and then in return can make other cool events in our community. So it was really cool to get to be a part of that.
Amazing.
This last Friday night we had a live show. Yeah, thanks. This last Friday night we had a live show. Theater Geeks, who is a group that I get to play D&D with on occasion, they did a live show on stage. It was Candyland themed, so it was a lot of fun. And then we had a game day where we had over 20 DMs, and I can't remember the math, but we did it, and it was like 174 sessions or something crazy like that were run throughout the day because of all the repeat. So cool stuff. Outside of that, not much has been happening. It has been all consuming. For those of you watching, I was telling Jeff, literally everything outside of the rectangle that I'm sitting in is a disaster in my workspace because I was making props, and I made a city board that a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one-shot was run on, which was pretty cool. And I will share pictures of it at some point. I do have them. I just haven't had the time to share them yet. So all in all, just very tired, But it was a great weekend, and a few months leading up to it were a lot of work, but it was a success, and we're now past it, which is great. I told my wife and kids, I'm like, I think I've reclaimed my life again,
Mm-hmm. That's such a good feeling after you put so much effort into something, and then it goes really well, and then it's done, and you're like, whew, I could sleep again.
And to be clear, I am a small piece of a very good team of very talented and dedicated and hardworking people. So I don't want to take a bunch of credit for it, but I got to be a bigger part of making it happen this year. And it was very gratifying to do so.
It's awesome.
I feel like with the Olympics having just happened, I feel like what I just heard was you were talking about how all this stuff happened. You were part of it and helped make it happen. And it was the biggest event, the most money raised. And you're like, well, other than winning gold, haven't really been up to much.
No big deal.
That's kind of it.
I didn't do that.
Thank
all
you,
the prep
Charlie. Training that went into that.
Right. My funniest takeaway from the day is I convinced or guilted my wife into being an attendee. So she bought a ticket and came to the event, and she had a great time. But my good friend Alex, who is on the planning committee as well, ran a one shot, and my wife was a player at his table.
Wow.
And then she was there at my table because I ran a session, and
That's awesome.
she worded it much more eloquently, but my wife very lovingly let me know she had more fun at Alex's session than she did at mine. And I was like, you know what? I can't be mad at that. So that was my takeaway from the day. But all in all, I am excited to reclaim a little bit of normalcy in my TTRPG and D&D life over the next few months, I hope. So that is me. Jeff, what you got going on, my guy?
Oh man. Man, I'm just gonna say here too, because you know what? Everyone here, these are evergreen episodes. I was thinking about this as I was listening to how cool Jared and Charlie are. And it's like, what? Cool. For listeners and viewers and things like that, like, just take a moment to appreciate your friends on how cool your friends are and what they're doing. It's a free thing to support your friends and stuff. And it's just really cool. Little side rant there. But I haven't done anything that cool. I am trying to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram. And if I can by May 1st, I have some things that I'm going to do for a giveaway. Because I want to do live painting sessions with people. Man. And I think that'd be really fun. And Instagram changed their thing for good reason, for bots and stuff. But you have to have 1,000 followers.
That's done.
But what caused me wanting to do that is because the last time I told you what number I was painted at, I was painting at 38. I am now at 79.
Lord, man.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
How?
Can you do this with your fingers still?
For those that are watching, I just stared blankly into the screen, just blinked a bunch. Life has been interesting over the past month. I will be honest there. But it's okay. Everything is going to be fine. I've just been painting a lot because I've just been playing a lot of Star Wars Legion and a lot of D&D. And it's like, I got to have stuff to do. So yeah, that's really what I've been doing. As you can see, for those that are watching, the angle is different here. This will be the actual setup now for my camera shots and things like that. You can see the full game room, which that video is actually started. So that is a thing. I'm just super particular about my room layout. So I definitely didn't rearrange shelves 19 times.
One does.
Yeah. So that's really all I've been doing is painting and playing games and stuff like that. It's been dope. So
well, I'm here to tell you, as somebody that's been very busy and has not been able to paint in quite some time. To me, you are doing some of the coolest thing. Like, that's awesome, dude.
Thank you.
That's a crazy number. Fun. That's a crazy number. Like, genuinely, I don't know if I've painted 79 minis like that at all.
I haven't. I definitely haven't ever in my lifetime.
That is
I think cool. Legitimately I'm at 1,200. I think.
You know what though? This is one of my favorite things about this new camera angle that you've got going though, because really, like, if y'all are listening, you just need to hop on YouTube and like fast forward to this part so you can see the angle. When you say you've painted that many minis, it really gives validity to the claim and make it seem like you're telling the truth, because like, yeah, look at it. There they are. There it is.
Yep. Dude, yeah, I wasn't being trustful, but I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should put in your Instagram bio and like be like, updated every Friday the number of minis you have painted.
That would be pretty sick.
That would be cool.
I have
or do the TikTok trend where it's like paint, like where they say they're like doing something for every new follower. It's like,
yeah, I literally regret to say, I was like, well, I just got back working out, and then was like, you know what, maybe I'll do a push-up or 10 push-ups for every new follower or something like that, and like, something stupid like that. But yeah, no, that's all I've been up to really.
That's so generous, because I'd be like, I would do 1 push-up per follower, and even then I would really have to consider my life choices. And it's not even because I would expect people to take me up on it and start following. I'm just like, my gosh, I got 3 today.
Yeah, what if you accidentally go viral on something?
All of a
guess
sudden,
I'm
he's
doing
like, hey guys, we're back in the gym today. We're bench pressing a Tarrasque.
You know, I mean, I don't know. You know,
built of
Dungeons
hill
and
giant
dumbbells.
strength, you know?
You know. Ooh, Dungeons and Dumbbells. Let's go with that for something at some point. That'd be dope.
Does that exist? Because if it doesn't, it should.
It should
I don't
be
know.
trademarked.
There is video proof right now at 10:19 p.m. EST on March 24th, 2026. Jeff Stein, real name, came up with the idea for Dungeons and Dumbbells. Let's hear it here first.
And then Jared swooped in and clipped the wings and said, one of my best friends has a shirt. His deadlift that says Dungeons and Dumbbells on it.
Dang it. Dang it.
Sorry, Jeff.
Oh, wow. Did they copyright it though?
Well, TBD.
That's such a generic thing. That's got to be a thing already. We've already yapped. I've yapped enough. Nicole, take us home.
All right. I am very tired. I also feel like I haven't been up to, at least externally, like things that I could show for my efforts anywhere near as much as you guys have. But I have been really putting a lot of hours into my game, Adventures in Etheria, which just a few minutes ago, as I was like, for the show notes, typing in the Kickstarter for Adventures After an Arcane Apocalypse, it occurred to me like how close our games are actually named. Charlie, I was like typing in Adventures, and then I was like, oh my god, that's me, that's Charlie. Okay, me and Charlie, we right there together. Which is actually
I will
cute.
probably
Adventures.
end up having an aneurysm at some point when I'm trying to say both of those titles in one sentence, trying to like tell people about my friends. I'll probably keel over and die, but it'll be worth it.
Right.
It's a lot of A's.
There's
can
two different
definitely-
adventures. There's a lot of A's involved. I don't know.
There's a lot of a-holes. Now, we could definitely. Well, so one of the funny things is shout out to Anna at Long Rest Marketing. She came up with an amazing logo for Adventures After an Arcane Apocalypse, because that, as you know, it's a lot of A's. It's 5
Right.
A's. So
So many
one of the
A's.
abbreviations that we've been kind of kicking around, just to kind of shorthand it, is AX5, and we realized that, well, there's 5
Yeah.
A's in there, and she realized, she was like, "Ooh, that makes a star." So we'll see if we can put that up there. But at the very least, yeah, we can call it, Etheria and Arcane Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. That's better
I was gonna-
already.
I was gonna say, Charlie, the AX5 is a little Avenged Sevenfold, don't you think?
Hey,
Um,
dude, shout out to Avenged Sevenfold. Hell yeah.
That's not a bad association to have. That's a good
No.
one.
That country is my jam
Dude,
all day long.
great record.
You
Great
think
record.
Avenged Sevenfold? What do you think the over-under is on Avenged Sevenfold and Dungeons and Dragons being talked about on the same podcast? Because I bet it's higher than we think.
Yeah.
Shadows, if you're listening to this, please reach out to us.
Please, for the love of God. I thought the highlight of my life was seeing you guys live at Ozfest in 2006. But if we could have you on the podcast, that would be amazing.
This podcast just became an Avenged Sevenfold poll.
Yeah.
I might.
He was
Oh my
always
God. Nicole, keep us back on track. Keep us back on track, Nicole. We're all here in the family room talking, and we haven't actually got everyone together
Rest
in a
in
while.
peace,
Sorry,
the
this is
Rev.
going to be a long one, guys.
I know when the fam all gets back together, it gets a little bit crazy up in here, and I feel like I do my due diligence as the mom to kind of like try to keep things in check. But like I said, I am tired today, so I'm probably not going to be up to the wrangling quite as well as usual. So we're just going to be unwrangled tonight. I think that's just the plan.
feral is the word we're
Feral, yes, yes. We be feral tonight. I like that. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm just writing a lot. I'm just writing a lot of this book and the adventures that go with it. And
Yeah, no biggie. Just published
find-
author.
yeah, I am finding out that writing a game, at least for me, is much more difficult than writing a book. Writing a book was like, okay, this is cool. Writing a game is like, oh, this is a lot. This is a lot to write.
I mean, and I suppose that's which you did both intentionally to expand upon it, but you do so much world building while writing a book. But I always think of like Middle Earth is much greater than the story of the Lord of the Rings, So
Right.
I always think it's like then when you're trying to have a game that's kind of a more zoomed out, like, well, I got to take a lot more into account than this one character, or in your case, a handful of characters, individual story in this world, So it makes sense. It's a lot more. It's a way wider lens to look at Etheria through.
It is, and it's like, again, like it's all stuff that I know, right? Because it's stuff that I made up, but just like trying to get it out in a way that other people will understand it and can make it their own is really quite a challenge. So
Yeah.
that is both fun and exhausting. But
Which makes sense.
that's pretty much the only extra thing I've been doing other than just like showing up to my day job and to take care of my children.
Just two quick notes on like Nicole, it's cool. Just a quick front. We had a raffle giveaway Friday at our live show for Goshen Dragons, and we sold a record number of raffle tickets. And one of the amazing prizes was Game Master Mom, the one and only beautiful, wonderful book. And a father won it and was very excited about it.
Oh yeah!
And secondly, I was talking to one of my friends and co-players at times at Goshen Dragons, and they're like, hey, we saw that book was given away last night. They're like, I'm actually a playtester for her game. So out of the like 100 people that were at the event, I just want you to know that at least 2 of us are plugged in, and we're ready to roll.
Crazy. That's
It's pretty
wild.
cool. It's a small world,
cool.
Small world. So
Apparently. Oh, that's so cool.
anyway, those are my sides. But anyway, Nicole, you're cool. You're doing great. So
Thanks. That just gives me the lift that I need to keep going.
Man.
this is an aside. I took a couple pictures, actually, I need to send you because I got your book in front of the stage. But anyway.
Oh, yes. I
aside.
want those. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Man. Speaking of keeping going, tonight's lore is about, we're going to continue our class lessons, not even lessons. That was awkward. I'm not your
He's going to
teacher.
keep it classy is what he's trying to say.
Classy. We're going to, that's what the sub lore is going to be called. Like this category is just going to be called, let's keep it classy.
Keep it classy.
Keep it classy.
Let's keep it classy. So, last in the immortal words of every GM, last we left off, we had talked about the major beginner classes of spellcasters and some not so beginner friendly classes in the spellcasters being, we talked about wizards, we talked about sorcerers, and we talked about warlocks, and we talked about bards. So we kind of hit the basic entry points of spellcasters. Tonight, we're going to kind of go down the rest of the spellcasters and start to get into more melee-based characters as well. And we're going to kick things off tonight with, I believe it's Nicole's favorite class, the druid. So, being one of the most versatile classes in the game, if you've ever played one, you immediately think of that shape-shifting into a bear or something like that. You get that low level, ooh, I can be something cool. They are your tank. They can be your damage dealer, your healer. They can be your scout, and they can also control the battlefield. They are quite literally the what are they called? The master of everything, because they can just be jack of all trades. That's the one. Thank you. Wow. Why? How did I forget that? They are the jack of all trades. If you don't know what to play, pick a druid. You can just branch out. Metaphor intended. That
Which
one wasn't
interesting, actually, because I don't know that I've ever until this moment thought of druids as being that versatile, but as described. Literally, they are.
They can. There are so many different builds you can do that start to tailor you to those different playstyles, which is dope. Now, the thing is they're all kind of mechanically a little bit different when you start to go into the different variations of a druid, but the core identity the core identity of a druid, I need to slow my brain down because I'm trying to read and not look like I'm reading at the same time. But there are two core mechanics of the class is that wild shape and their spell casting. So they can be melee, you can get up and be a bear and you can do that with wild shape, but primarily you will probably still be casting spells a majority of the time unless you go into the more melee based things, which then you can think about it as a melee class. But if you think about it, especially with the new adjustments and everything like that, when you wild shape like into, let's just take that bear again, you now have basically a Tekken shield health bar before you even get hit. So that's pretty dope. And so when you're low level, because this is an introduction to classes and stuff like that, so there's some tips and things for playing and different things. You got 2 health bars, man. Like, you want to do some cool things, go in wild shape, do some cool stuff. But it's not all combat related too, which is the utility part of a druid. And this is where I think a lot of druid players forget that they can do these types of things. Like wild shaping, for example, into a spider to crawl into a cracked window in a tavern, in an inn, in a castle or something like that, where you have now suddenly, you might not have like a great stealth check. You're like, oh, we want to go in somewhere. Use your druid as a scout. Like, it's so cool. Shapeshift into a bird. You don't have to be a massive eagle, be a little canary. You can still fly and do stuff. It's super awesome.
Or crawl up the big bat's nose and drop wild shape and explode their head.
I think there was a theory in Captain America Civil War, maybe it was Endgame.
It was Endgame.
Yeah, with Ant-Man, and a similar concept with Thanos, but
wasn't his nose. So they're also spellcasters, and they are.
Sorry.
They are a spellcaster in the same sense that they are like a wizard almost. They're like a wizard and a sorcerer combined in a weird way, but like less powerful in the damage dealing side of things. But they're a prepared spell. Like they can't just change spells willy-nilly. They can only do it once per day. And they are much less open to the spells that they can use. Which is cool because then that does, again, it puts that druid in its own kind of seat of, I can do everything, but I'm not great at one particular thing unless I really try to. And they have a lot of constant, like the druid is probably the longest one we're going to talk about tonight. But
they're a very complex class, though, fairness, because you're right, because you can go so many like polar opposite directions with them. But
this is why I kept it out of like the 4 basic classes, because it's so it's deep. Like you can just find any way to play a druid. And another thing that they have is they have a lot of utility, similar to a bard, where your bard is going to be giving your utility via your inspirations and stuff, and giving the player a buff. A druid, you can use a lot of spells like Entangling Roots, I think that's what it's called, where you can actually pull an enemy and lock them on the battlefield. Like, that's pretty cool, especially when you got a party that is full of a bunch of squishy casters. That's a great tool to have. And I think a lot of people forget about that element of a druid. Or they just think of it as the in-your-face bear, which is totally valid. And I think you can wild shape into an owl bear now, I think.
I know they did in the movie, and I know that was controversial. I don't know if they've changed it or not.
I don't know if it was or not. It was dope in the movie, though.
Maybe they reclassified the owl bear in 5.5 versus 5.8. Anyway, Nicole,
let us know.
Druid being your favorite class, have you gotten to play one long enough to kind of go into a fighting style arc? Whatever I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so the one that I played the longest, for whatever reason, I didn't really go hard on the like wild shape side.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do like Circle of the Moon or any of that. I went with more of like a land-based kind of druid, and I did a lot of like terrain kind of stuff, like making difficult terrain to help people out. I did a lot of like healing and support for the party. And then the way that I used the animal piece was more like calling in animals to like help as allies to the party versus like the traditional druid thing. I think is just like turn into an animal, because why not?
That gives me a lot of like shaman vibes.
It was
that's really
shaman
cool.
/ Disney princess.
I was gonna say
that's the direction I was gonna go.
White.
Yeah.
Right. That's my brain the whole time was like like a Disney princess.
Yeah. Listen, it was my first character, so
with 0 fucks.
No, that sounds incredible. I say that as a compliment. I mean, they're like the most iconic characters in animation history for a reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
But besides Nicole's character being iconic shaman druid Disney princess, if you have played Baldur's Gate 3, you'll be familiar with a particular druid named Halsin. No spoilers for anything, but it is a wild ride. And so that's the druid. Next, we're going to start to bridge the gap between our casters into our melee. And the perfect class, I think, in my opinion, again, all of this is my opinion and some general things here. Feel free to disagree with anything.
Should be taken as law.
Feel free to not listen to a single word I have to say about any of this. But in my opinion, the perfect bridge to that gap right there is the cleric, where they can be in your face with that big old warhammer. Shout out my boy Cargrim, right? Or they can be that healer in the back, that caster that's throwing all the healing spells. And for the love of God, please cast Bless. That is a non-negotiable. If you have that spell, you have to use it. There's no question about it. But a cleric, I have a partial soft spot for clerics, I'm not going to lie, because they are my favorite class. Them and a warlock. I think that was my class actually I made which we should still do something about those characters. But a cleric
someday,
similar.
We'll come back to it. Maybe episode 100.
Yeah,
maybe.
Similar to a druid, they can kind of do a multi utility function as well, where they can heal, tank, damage, buff. Just not as well in the crowd control development, as a druid can. But what's really cool about a cleric is they have a lot of like innate built-in bonus spells that they get by being able to dip into different divinities of a cleric. Their core mechanic relies on their dominion to their belief. So it's different from like a paladin that does not have to have a god. A cleric has to have a divine intervention, if you will, because their core class is holy, right? You can have your in your face and your mean clerics but at the end of the day, they're still casting divine smite, right? I think that's what it is. but they also have an innate built-in advantage over anything undead, which is super cool. Well, maybe not anything undead, but they have quite a lot of utility against undead things because of that light. Channel your typical Warcraft mean here by the holy light. They have a really neat function in the game itself is where they can wear heavy armor. They can wear plate without having a super disadvantage besides just having disadvantage with stealth. But which makes them, again, a very unique caster because they can be in the back with your plate mail on, have an insane AC, and still be able to cast some amazing spells and heal your allies. That's super cool. And they have so many different types of domains just off the top of my head and that I was writing. You have a life domain, light domain, trickery, tempest, and war. Like, I don't know how much more different one single class that's focused still in the slot of primarily a spellcaster with a little bit of melee. That's just so. That's so many different play styles if you want to go that route of cleric.
I gotta give a shout out to my favorite, which is Death Domain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Again, there's so many. There's so many.
In my classic way of playing one class and making it like another class, I've played a war domain cleric and basically just played like a paladin, but worse. Yeah. And it was actually super fun though, but I arguably should have just played a paladin.
There is
we need a whole episode where Jared just does a side quest talking about all the characters he's played as a class that's bad at being another class, but he wants it to be that way.
Masquerade is being good at something. Yeah, right.
It's a cool idea. I find it really interesting. Every time it comes up, I'm like, that is a choice. It
probably should come up in therapy, or I don't know, who's to say.
Every one of his characters has imposter syndrome.
Yeah. What does that say about me? Probably nothing.
Well, go ahead and roll for insight and we'll see.
Yeah, let's find out.
Go ahead and join us on our next episode, which is a side quest where Nicole professionally diagnoses Jared.
Rolled a 9, so
cool.
Yeah, you're fine. You're totally fine. Nothing wrong here.
Totally fine. Everything seems normal to you.
Speaking,
I have it on good faith from a professional that I find. So,
speaking of paladins, though, they again fall into that melee range also thing, but they in my opinion are more of a melee based class than they are a range based class. There's nothing more iconic than a paladin with a sword and a shield. I went Sean Connery there. With a sword and a shield, that is the paladin riding on a golden steed with bright white armor. You know what it looks like. And they and looking at my notes now, they are the ones that do divine smite. I haven't played as a player in a long time, but they also play heavily. If you've noticed, all of these classes are very utility based with their party. They are also another big buffing unit in a D&D party.
Oh yeah, those auras.
That's literally what I was about to say, which is awesome. The passives that they have with buffing their allies with saving throws, fear resistances, increases to ability checks, things like that. They are an anchor to a lot of parties where if your paladin goes down, everyone is kind of scrambling for at least a round or two. And then when that paladin's like, oh, I got this, that if you think the paladin in the D&D movie is the perfect paladin representation. He's just like that. No, I'm right, and he's like, I've got this. I'm going.
I literally,
just,
what came to my
room.
mind was, I don't know if you guys remember that old video from World of Warcraft where the guy just runs in. He's like, Leroy Jenkins.
I'm
That
really glad
is-
that we got that reference in
Sorry,
here.
do we remember the most iconic internet clip of all time? Yes, sir. We know that obscure clip.
As an active WoW player, I can legitimately tell you I can quote that whole video.
That's legit.
We have a
But yeah,
66%
that is
chance.
exactly it. They are the I got this. Like, I'm gonna go tank these guys here real quick. Oh, there's a guy next to my my friend over there. Shield bash. Things you have so many cool, a bit like auras and just side things that can help your party, as well as being able to heal with like just as simple because you are a melee. Well, you aren't just a melee, but if you are playing melee, you've got literal melee based healing spells like lay on hands. Like how cool is that? You can
Good luck dodging every morally gray decision.
that
Yes,
too.
That's right.
I will say, role playing a paladin could be difficult if you take your alignment super seriously.
Yeah.
Which could add to a lot of really good character depth. Just saying. I'm not telling you how to play a game.
Yeah. Playing a paladin, I find it's really fun to just determine who you're aligned to. And that is where your goodness can be determined from, because a lot of things are, from the perspective of a lot of evil people, they were right. So,
Or you
Who's
could just
to
say a
say?
paladin that puts their hand over their holy symbol anytime they're about to do something bad. And they're like, what Bahamut does not see, he does not know.
what Bahamut?
And speaking
in defense of what I said, my paladin that I'm playing serves Odin, who is a historically troubled god. So I could justify different things, I suppose.
Yeah. Odin was crazy. So yeah.
Yeah.
He'd sign off on all kinds of shit.
And a perfect way to kind of put a little bow on tonight's lore with those three classes, bridging the gap between the casters and classics up to the more advanced and the melee based things, which we will get into the next time I do an episode with lore, but Jared will cover the next one, so you got to wait at least another episode. Is the villainous paladin, which is my favorite paladin, the Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker.
The Oathbreaker. They are the paladin that if you were playing, I don't remember, so don't quote me as this as gospel, but I don't remember if a Oathbreaker is still listed as a villain class. But in the 2014 versions of 5e, the Oathbreaker was only available in the DMG. It was not in the player's handbook, which is super cool. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. That sounded extremely rude, and I did not mean for it to be that rude.
No, I think that you are correct, because I think the way it was initially brought into the D&D world is as a DM's tool to be like, hey, paladin, you're not playing the way your character claims they.
Yeah.
So I think it was more like a curse,
And
Would
that
love for other classes to get to, by the way.
And
Wizards of the Coast, if you're listening.
that's a perfect way to kind of put a little bow on this again. Is an Oathbreaker, a paladin, if role played and story told, and they're taking the account of what you're doing into the table, a paladin can't just, I am mad one day, I'm going to become an Oathbreaker. But no, it doesn't work that way. That is literally, you are giving up your foundation. You have to have a reason why you're giving up that foundation, because you now lose a lot of your holy based things and you get a lot of death based stuff. So you're kind of your whole mental frame of what a paladin is shifts when you choose to be an Oathbreaker. I played a paladin in my friend's campaign. He was a dragonborn paladin, and dragonborn are very kin focused. It's or at least the ones I was playing was very tight knit group with other dragons and stuff, and my dungeon master killed my brother in the game, which I casted like every single spell I could to try to bring him back, right? And he didn't do it, and that was my segue as going into a Oathbreaker. I was like, oh man, that's super cool.
That is cool.
So that is a little bit about 3 more classes from D&D. Next time, we're going to get into more melee-based stuff, like fighters and your rogues, and maybe we'll start touching on some... before we do that, we'll have one more before this, and that is less of a caster as it is a shooter, and we're going to talk about rangers and stuff too. So, with that, we're talking a lot about classes, but the classes mean nothing if the GM doesn't have a grasp on what they're doing. So I lead the question to everyone, and Charlie's going to kick us off because he rolled high with a 7. What GM tools do you guys use in your games or prepping for your games that help you on your gamely basis?
Well, having rolled a 7, dice. You can never have enough dice as a DM. No, truthfully, I mean, there's so much. I mean, we really do live in like a golden age of D&D right now, where there is just so many resources out there, and so many things that have been play tested, time and time again. So there's a lot of really good things out there, and you could easily find so much. But I will say, for me personally, as a GM who runs games not out of their home, usually in a public setting for paid professional games, I find a lot of tools that are able to either be accessed electronically, or I can easily pack up and put in my D&D backpack and bring anywhere that I'm going to be really helpful. So one of the things that I have actually found that has been probably one of the best things is condition rings. I can't tell you how helpful those are, both as the GM and also for players too. Especially if you're playing with people for the first time and maybe they've not really gotten into or played with a lot of other people that apply a lot of the the buffs and crowd control and debuffs. Those can be really, really helpful reminders for people. And I got a set. I like the silicone ones that are a little squishy. So that way, especially for me as I'm traveling and everything, I don't have to worry about them breaking or snapping. But also not damaging minis, because I've seen that happen before too, where somebody goes to put a 3D printed one and it breaks off the staff of the wizard. But yeah, condition rings are one of my favorite things, and they just help me keep track of things on the fly and really help the players.
Yeah, I would agree and echo everything that Charlie said. I use all those things, can confirm. I have hard plastic condition rings though, and I'm going to have to look into the squishier ones, because that issue is a real thing. The ones that I want to touch on, because I don't know if the other of you use it, and I was just using it earlier, is Obsidian. It is a platform that I've switched to. I just use the free version, but it is a planning tool that is incredible for your world building. It's very bare bones, and you can just tag a world and it kind of builds out this grid for you. And just by like tagging each thing, it'll automatically connect your notes. I think there is a paid version that has more powerful tools, but the free version so far has been sufficient for me. My main world, the Abyssal Tide, is not planned in it, simply because I think it would be too much work to port it over. But any worlds that I've planned since then, I've been using that, and having DM'd using it a few times now, 10 out of 10 would recommend Obsidian. The other one that's a non-negotiable for me is Pocket Bard. I super love it. It's convenient because it's on my phone. I will often use Monument Studios because we love them. They're good guys who make incredible stuff. The Pocket Bard is so darn convenient. There's scenes now for everything. For the yearly subscription, it's not unreasonable if you use it enough, and I find I use it weekly, if not more, because I'll have it on when I'm planning my DM notes. Like when I'm planning sessions, I'll pocket bar, the songs are part of that, and I'll have them playing as I'm like world building even in my head. I find it helps.
Yep.
Those are the two big ones for me, that aren't the obvious things. I think we largely do things similarly, but those are the big ones for me. What about you guys?
I know for me, I use Pocket Bard a lot too, and the condition rings too. But I also need to look into these silicone ones because too often has the staff of the wizard broken.
Yeah, it sucks.
But mine are clear. Jared, are yours clear?
They are, and I can't tell you the life of me what brand they are. But yeah, they're clear and have the. I do find it curious the ones that are included in it and the ones that aren't included in it, because I'm like, there's some that aren't in there at all, and then there's some that I'll probably never use as long as I DM. But
another thing that I use quite frequently are these like AoE, like area of effect little templates.
Yeah, those templates are bomb.
And I have the clear, like the different plastic. They're like a plastic, not a piece of paper, and they're literally to scale for D&D because it's just an inch grid system. And they say what they are on the side of them too, so there's no questioning, like, is this a 30-foot sphere? Are they in the 30-foot sphere? I don't know. Well, let's drop the sphere. Do they fall into it? They're in it. It's awesome. It's great. It takes I think I can do this from your player. The GM's like, I don't know if you can, and you solve that debate real fast.
And I would say, and I think, Jeff, that you're similar, and maybe both, it doesn't matter. I use gridless terrain when I make stuff. I don't have grids, and so I find that those are like, you almost have to have them. Some kind of AoE, spells and stuff, because it is darn near possible to like calculate all that stuff accurately on the fly.
Yeah, the set that I have also has 20-foot straight lines. It has a 30-foot straight line, a 40-foot straight line. So I also like movement for me is pretty fluid, like pretty open. We're not completely moving, it's off by a half an inch. Who cares? The only thing I care about is, are they in the effect? Like, I don't care if you're a block or two away, as long as you're not trying to melee somebody from that far away if you only have a 5-foot reach. But it's like, come on, let's not slow down the game for a 3-foot rule. Come on. That's just my opinion. I'm not telling you how to play your game.
Do agree with that opinion, however.
Yes. So I use those, but the thing that I have found that has helped my players a lot, and I'll shut up after this, is I started printing out these little blank, just like character inventory item slots. Because I've noticed, I haven't used D&D Beyond as a player in a very long time, but my players use it, and they are having a problem when I make an item actually having it function properly in D&D Beyond, which is probably user error on my side. Let's be real. But it's much easier to just write, hey, they bought this gauntlet at, Thorax shop that gives them +2 to melee hits. We can just write that down on the spot because I printed out about 300 of them, and we can just write that down, right? +2 melee hits. Now you've got it literally in front of you. Then you know what you have. It's awesome. And that goes for potions. If you find a cool rare potion that's not in D&D Beyond, because my world's homebrew, so we have all sorts of weird stuff like mushrooms and things like that do really cool stuff. It's just really fun. So that's what I find as very helpful for not just me, but also the players too.
Well, and so I find that's first off a great idea. I find as a player in the campaign that I'm in, I'm using a paper character sheet because it's like a custom system and everything. and you run out of room for your inventory. You know, I have to use a notebook and then my notes get all over the place. So printing something out for your players that's just like, this is just for your inventory is a great idea on its own, let alone the customization and ease that you've, you know, baked into it.
Yeah. And if maybe we'll get more fancy and I'll laminate them and we can erase things and stuff like that. I don't know. Who knows?
Okay.
And I'm sure I'm not the first one to do this. I mean, I found a template online. So, you know, like just search like free D&D inventory customizable PDF. I don't know. Nicole, what do you use? I'm very curious what you use because you do a lot of kids games. So I'm curious to see what your game aids are.
I do. And honestly, when I first saw this topic, I was considering just bringing like snack recipes. Just telling y'all
like
how to make all my favorite D&D snacks.
It's my favorite thing to re-listen to our episodes. I need to like tally how many times Nicole's correct solutions to everything has been snacks.
Yeah.
And it's never been wrong. It's always been the correct answer.
Snacks make everything better. They just do.
They do.
So yeah, definitely snacks. I did not actually bring recipes, but can supply later if wanted. I use something similar as far as like, I don't have like an inventory thing, but I do actually use like physical item cards that I make for items. And everything that I do is like on paper. I don't do any online games and nobody uses D&D Beyond or anything like that. So most of the stuff that I do is pretty simple. I will say one thing that I've started using lately, because I'm a big fan of map tiles. Even if I have like 3D terrain, I usually put a map tile under it that has some kind of grid or like walls or something on it. And I tend to get kind of crazy with those and just like build them out, and then like the table is covered in like 8 semi-overlapping like pieces of cardstock paper with grid maps that I made on them, and it gets really messy. So if you can imagine.
Sounds awesome.
Especially if the table's not quite big enough and you're like trying to cram everything and everybody on it, it's a whole situation. So recently, like I guess in December, I got this like magnet paper, this just like huge roll of magnet paper. I think I shared this on my Instagram, but it's like big old roll of magnet paper and then like magnetic printable sheets. So now I just make my map tiles on these magnet paper sheets basically, and then they just stick to like the big magnet sheet board that I mounted on like a kind of a thin piece of like a particle board, you know, some kind of cheap lightweight board. So the board is kind of big, but it still fits in my car and fits on most game tables. And then when I'm putting down all my little chaotic map tiles, they stay where they're supposed to stay. And I love it so much. It makes me so happy.
That was, when I saw that video, I was like, that's actually genius. Like, it's genius.
Yeah. I'm such a tactile, like old school paper pen kind of person that like just the amount of stuff that I end up drawing or printing that's like on the table gets really overwhelming. And then kids are crazy, so they just like randomly jump up like this and it's like everything goes flying. So the more things that stick to the table, the better.
One other tool, if I can bring up another one.
No, you're not allowed, Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah, how dare you?
We're going you only rolled a 7 actually, so this is true.
He is the best of us. So.
I'm sorry. I don't know why we all just decided to pile off Charlie. Go ahead, buddy.
No, it's all good. I just want to say my favorite as far as software and digital tools is definitely got to be Incarnate. I use that so much to build out maps, especially for Adventures After an Arcane Apocalypse. There's so many things that, you know, of course, don't exist otherwise, other than it stuck in my head. So I got to put it out there. And I find that to be so helpful. even if it's just like, if I'm not able to print it out, which when I have been able to make some really cool maps with, the quality of the image download. I mean, the fact that you can, it's incredible. You can do like 4K resolution. It's great.
I think you can get up to like, it's still an experimental, but I think they have up to like 12K or 14K downloads available now.
Like it's in beta, right? Yeah.
You're right. And I would imagine if you have like a digital table that you're really zooming in, maybe you need that. Like I can't.
Yeah,
for my,
that's really good for like
out,
the virtual, like the digital.
Right.
Ooh, that's cool.
I did.
And
by the way,
using it for that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I think you can access some of it for free. Maybe I'm wrong there, but it's very reasonable.
I'm a big fan
the
of
subscription is very reasonable.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of them, and I'm very grateful that I have a small partnership with them. I don't get any compensation for it, but I just am a huge fan of them, and so there is a promo code you can use, Inked GM, for 7 days of their free premium without having to put any card info in, risk free. But yeah, even if you do the premium though, the $25 a year, I mean, out of all the subscription services that I've found for D&D tools, it's one of the best for the value and versus
by the way,
into it.
It just came out with like Incarnate 2.0 or is about to drop. I'm not positive of the timing. So they keep adding stuff and it doesn't cost you more. I mean, and they have 6 or 7 different map styles and I don't know, I can't recall if they're called stamps or basically like layered stickers. I mean, there's thousands of them to choose from, and you could scale everything and recolor. Like it's super easy to use, but you can also like take it a lot deeper and do a lot more detail the more you mess around with it, which I love.
Yeah.
Nicole, what else do you use your games?
That's about it.
Or when you're prepping or anything like that, do you use anything for your prep for kids?
Yes, I feel like I end up pulling from a lot of different source books. Definitely like the Wizards of the Coast stuff, like the Player's Handbook and the DM's Guide and like that kind of stuff the most. But I just happen to have a bunch of like random source books for other TTRPGs laying around. And I'm not gonna lie, some days I'll just like look on my shelf and be like, what looks interesting to me today? And just like pull a source book and kind of flip through until I find something and then use that as like inspiration for my homebrew stuff. So shout out to source books. I'll just throw that in there too.
And I would even like Pinterest is something that I'm on like every day probably, but especially leading up to D&D for concept art and ideas and stuff. I love Pinterest too because they label all the things that they suspect are AI art, so you can just move past them if it's not your jam. And if it is, then that's fine. I was going to say one other thing and I forgot, but Pinterest is a big one. Oh, I've even just gone and like looked through my movie collection or gone and looked at my bookshelf, and it like you could just look through the stories and something, I've walked by my bookshelf before a D&D session and something's jogged my brain of like, oh, that's a good idea. That's applicable. So I genuinely feel like the more things you have around, like I talked about it this summer, which seems, so long ago now. I literally walked outside and saw a cicada shell, and that's, then something I use to torment my players with. So inspiration is everywhere if you are looking for it. So
that's a lot of stuff in this episode, guys. This is definitely a multi-partaking listen through. This is a lot. The edit points that I'm going to have for this are hilarious. I'm already looking forward to editing this. Because we have an unedited folder in our shared drive that we have, and I think this year, because we've hit a full year, so we have enough to do like a funny. I'll throw together like some bloopers or something like that, or just find some to just randomly drop throughout the rest of the year or something, and then do a big thing at the end.
That would be so
because there are
hilarious.
some really funny outtakes.
I'm terrified. I'm as terrified as I am excited, in fairness.
It's gonna be glorious. But that was a good episode.
What are
we gonna,
crazy enough?
It was
our 25th. Not to belabor, but that was our 25th episode, and that's something. That's a big deal.
That was our 20. This is our 25th episode. Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
I think we say it, and if we don't say it every episode, I think it's pretty baked into the anatomy of our show. We couldn't have done it without everybody, and this is definitely a podcast of people who are living life trying to make everything work out. And with that, let's roll a D100 to see what we are going to yabber about next episode.
Okay, 28 is how to
28?
approach pre-written settings.
Ooh, interesting. All right. I have little to no experience in that, so I'm actually excited to kind of give it some thought this week.
Yeah, I think all of us are going to have to do a little bit of thought-provoking and digging into the old brain cavities there.
I know, right?
Yeah, I've literally been running exclusively Adventures After an Arcane Apocalypse, all homebrew stuff for the last 3 years.
Hear me out. If Etheria and Adventures After an Arcane Apocalypse are being written, does that mean they technically qualify as written material?
I mean,
we'll figure this out and more in our next episode.
Thank you guys so much. We are the Story Crafters. We'll catch you next time. I'm Jeff. We have Nicole, Jared, and Charlie. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye.
Bye.